Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Nar from the Nar Report. Back today to an hold on, back with another episode today. If you're new here, welcome to my episode of the Nar Report. If you've been here, welcome back to a new episode of the Nar Report. This is episode 30 of the Nar Report, and I'm here to talk about a lot of NBA talks. Okay, the NBA playoffs are officially here. The bracket is set. The play-in tournament is set up. The play-in tips off tomorrow night on Tuesday, and I'm here to talk about all the games, how I feel, my predictions, everything. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all a whole playoff preview on every game. All right, the play-in and the matchups in the East and the West. All right, I'm gonna talk about Luka Dončić returns to Dallas last week. All right, he dropped 45 points. This Clippers and Warriors game had a lot at stake yesterday. I'm here to talk about that and a lot more games too as the NBA regular season is officially over. It is time for the NBA playoffs. And before we get started, quick shout out to my guy, Mr. 401 from Mr. 401 Sports World Network. NBA playoffs, yes, sir. Best time of the year, baby. Best time of the year. I am excited. I am ready. The NBA playoffs starts this Saturday. I'm so excited. I love the NBA playoffs. Very fun to watch. And we're going to get into all of that starting right now, baby. Let's get into it. Starting off in the play-in tournament, 7 versus 8. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm going to talk about the play-in game first from 7 versus 8, 9 versus 10, and then the battle for the AC. And I'm going to break the play-in tournament on how it works. Okay. If you're new, if you don't know what the play-in tournament is, I'm glad. All right. It's okay because guess what? I'm here to break down everything about the play-in tournament, how it works, who wins, who goes to the playoffs, who plays another game, all of that, all right? Let's get into it. Starting off with the first play-in game in the Eastern Conference, we got the Orlando Magic taking on the Atlanta Hawks in Orlando in the first Eastern Conference play-in tournament in Orlando. Man, this is going to be a very great game. I am an Atlanta Hawks fan. For those of y'all that are new here, I am an Atlanta Hawks fan, an Atlanta sports fan, and I'm going to tell you how do I feel about this game. I feel really good about this game. I am excited. Nervous a little bit, but Orlando has been balling lately, though. But they haven't really surprised me a lot. Earlier in the season, Orlando was a top 3 team in the East, but then injuries killed them. Jalen Suggs is out for the season. A couple more players out for the season as well, too, for the Orlando Magic. But otherwise, though, this is going to be a very great game, though. All right, it's going to be a great game. It's going to come down to the wire. I think Trae Young is going to have an amazing game. Dyson Daniels is going to have a great game. Paolo Carroll, he's going to have a great game. I feel like both teams are going to come ready to play. This is win, and you're in the playoffs as a 7th seed. You lose, you play another game, all right? And I am excited. I can't wait for this game. I've never been more excited of a game this big right here, all right? Trae Young's going to have a great game. Dyson Daniels is going to have a great game. The keys to this game for the Atlanta Hawks, you got to play great. Okay, Trae Young has to have a great game. Dyson Daniels has to have a great game. Everybody around the Atlanta Hawks has to have a great game. Rebounding is key. Defense, staying consistent. Zachary Richardson has to play great. Everybody around Trae Young has to play great. And this is what I realized too. When Trae Young plays great, everybody plays great. Okay, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Richardson. So Trae Young has to step up for the Atlanta Hawks and have a huge time game against the Orlando Magic team. This Orlando Magic team. Now, Orlando has been balling down the stretch, but they haven't like surprised me a lot. Okay, Paolo Carroll has been hooping. I love the young team in Orlando, but y'all think Trae Young's gonna want to lose this game? Come on now. When Trae Young is in these type of playing games, he is going to find a way to get a win, and that's what he's been doing for the past 3 years since we've been in the playing tournament. The Atlanta Hawks are winning this game against the Orlando Magic to get that 7th seed. They'll take on the Boston Celtics, the defending NBA champions, in the first round. So 7-8 game works like this: you win, you're in the playoffs at the 7th seed. You lose, you play one more game against the winner of that 9-10 game. Mr. 41 also said Trey Young is the most underrated superstar in the league. Yes, absolutely. This dude leads the league in assists, and he is a great offensive player as well too. So back to what I was saying, 7 versus 8, Atlanta versus Orlando. I got my Atlanta Hawks getting the job done against the Orlando Magic. I think it's going to be a good game, but Atlanta's going to squeak out with a win. I think Trey Young's going to drop 30 and 12, and the Hawks will get the job done. Dyson Daniels is going to have at least 16. Zachary's going to have at least 25. Oyek is going to have a good game. The bench is going to have a great game. LeBron, me and Terrence Mann, they all going to have a great game. So I'm confident that we are going to go into Orlando and stand on business. Mr. Ford also said Atlanta needs to fall to the AC. You do not want to play Boston. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, but here's the thing, though. The reason why I want to win this game because if you win, you're already in the playoffs, okay? And I'm not really scared of Boston. Yes, they're the defending NBA champions, but they don't scare me, okay? They don't scare me. See, if we had Jalen Johnson, we'll be a different team right now, but yeah, I get what you're saying. If we lose this game, we'll fall to the AC and play the winner out of Miami, Chicago, and I do not want to take that risk, okay? Because here's the thing. I don't want to play a Chicago Bulls team who has been red hot down the stretch. Kobe White is playing like an all-star. Josh Giddey is playing like an all-star. And the Bulls have been very great lately down the stretch. Miami, come on out. Miami is not going to do nothing, okay? I do think we'll beat Miami, but here's the thing, though. You don't know what type of Miami Heat team you're going to get, all right? You don't know what type of Heat team is going to show up, all right? So, yeah. I would like for us to win this game, beat Orlando, get into the playoffs, and let us get that test against the Boston Celtics. And Mr. 401 also said it is a risk. Yes, I will not take that risk playing either Chicago or Miami, especially a Chicago team. So I would love to win this game to get into the playoffs. And I do feel confident that we are going to win this game. I am excited. But Orlando hasn't balling, though, so I'm kind of a little worried about Orlando. But I do believe we'll be fine, though. As long as Trey Young have a great game and everybody else will be fine. Play defense, grab rebounds, stay consistent, and be efficient on both sides of the floor. All right? So as I was saying, I got the Atlanta Hawks defeating the Orlando Magic for the 8th seed, or the 7th seed, excuse me. Atlanta beats Orlando for the 7th seed, advance to the playoffs and take on the Boston Celtics. Next game, 7 versus 8. We got the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies in San Francisco Bay Area. Boy, this is going to be a great game right here. This game is going to feel like a game 7. Steph Curry versus Ja Morant. If you didn't know, these two teams faced each other in the play-in tournament 4 years ago in 2021. Memphis won that game, and they were a young team back then. All right. So this is going to be a great game. This game right here is going to be like that Clippers and Warriors game yesterday. I feel like this is going to be that type of game. Down to the wire, it's going to come down to the last shot. But man, this is going to be the must game to watch right here on Tuesday, tomorrow night. I'm 100% staying up all night watching this game. All right. I'm watching every second, every shot, every minute of this game. Okay. This is going to come down to the wire. Okay. Steph Curry, he's going to have a great game. Ja Morant is going to have like 25 points. Steph Curry might drop 36. Okay. Butler might have 28. But I feel like this game right here is going to come down to who is the better team, who plays like the better team. All right, that's what's going to come down to. Memphis firing their head coach, so we're going to see how they do against this Golden State Warriors team. Mr. 401 also says, Memphis wins that game in Golden State. This game could make Ja a legend. Absolutely. Ja Morant is going to have a great game. I feel like he's going to have at least 25 or 30 points. Yeah, so if the Grizzlies win this game, I will not be surprised at all. The Warriors are 0-3 in the play-in tournament, so they got to get over that. But I got the Warriors winning this game, defeating the Memphis Grizzlies for that 7th spot. They'll advance to the playoffs and take on a young Houston Rockets team. But man, when I tell you Memphis Golden State game of the play-in, number 1 game of the play-in, you gotta grab your popcorn, okay? You gotta do everything that you can to stay up for this game, okay? Because I'm telling you, usually I be falling asleep like around 3rd quarter, but nah, I'm waking up. Okay, I'm staying up all night until that buzzer sounds in the fourth quarter. This game right here, Memphis and Golden State, blood bath. Okay, this game might go into overtime. Okay, this game might go into overtime or double overtime. Who knows? Okay, but for Golden State, Steph Curry, this is what Golden State needs to do to win the game. Steph Curry has to have a great game. Draymond Green has to have a great game. Butler has to have a great game. Everybody has to have a great game for the Golden State Warriors. Slow down John Morant. Grab rebounds. They got a huge big in Zach Edey, who's great at the rim protection position. Memphis, all they got to do is slow down Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, then you're good. Yes, sir. Get your popcorn ready for tomorrow night. Atlanta, Orlando, that's going to be a great one. And Golden State and Memphis. You got to get your popcorn for that game. But back to what I was saying, I got the Golden State Warriors defeating the Memphis Grizzlies to advance to the playoffs. As the seventh seed, they'll take on the Houston Rockets. So as of right now, this is what the playoff picture looks like after the 7-8 game. Cleveland still the winner from the play-in tournament. Indiana will play Milwaukee. New York will play Detroit. And Boston will play in the West. OKC still winning for their opponent versus the Los Angeles Clippers. LA Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves, and Houston Rockets versus Golden State Warriors. All right. So I got Atlanta beating Orlando for the 7th seed and Golden State defeating Memphis for the 7th seed. So what does that mean now? Both teams are not eliminated just yet. Orlando, Memphis, y'all good. Y'all have another chance on your home court. Y'all will wait for the winner at a 9-10 game to see who y'all play for that 8th seed and advance to the playoffs. All right. That's it for the 7 and 8 game. Now we move on to 9 versus 10. Starting off in the East, we got the Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat. In Chicago, man, I feel like we've been getting Chicago and Miami for like the past 10 years in the play-in. Like, is this going to be the play-in matchup? That I'm telling you, Miami and Chicago is the annual play-in matchup in the Eastern Conference. Most annual play-in matchup in the Eastern Conference. This is like every time the East playing this set, we always get these two teams. All right. But back to what I was saying, Miami versus Chicago. Miami has been off lately. They have a rough season. Jimmy Butler in and out, wanting to trade, all that stuff. So Miami, they've been up and down for the final stretch of the season. They lost to the Wizards, which was not a good look. But yeah, I understand you was locked into the 10th seed, but y'all should have won that game. All right. The Chicago Bulls, they have been balling down the stretch. Kobe White has been amazing. Josh Giddey has been amazing. This Chicago Bulls team is young, but they're inexperienced, though, okay? And they're going to try to get over the hump to make the playoffs, all right? But the good thing for Chicago is y'all playing the Miami Heat. Y'all are in Chicago at home at the United Center, so that's going to be a whole playoff atmosphere in that building because last year when we played Chicago in there, man, that atmosphere was crazy, okay? I do think it's going to be lit in there. Chicago's going to be lit. Kobe White is going to have a great game. Josh Giddey is going to have a great game. Tyler Hero from Miami is going to have a great game. Bam Adebayo is going to have a great game. I feel like these two teams will go neck to neck. Down to the wire. It's going to come out to the final shot. Give me the Chicago Bulls over the Miami Heat to advance to the final playing game for the AC, and they'll play the Orlando Magic. All right. And Mr. 4-1 also said that he has the Bulls beating the Miami Heat. Yes, sir. I got Chicago as well, too, because Chicago has been playing phenomenal basketball down the stretch. And I want this team to make the playoffs. All right. I really want this team to make the playoffs to get some experience. All right. So in the final playing game in the East, we got the Orlando Magic and the Chicago Bulls for the AC. Now we go over to the other 9-10 game in the Western Conference. We got the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Sacramento Kings. This is going to be a great game right here. You got Anthony Davis and the Dallas Mavericks versus DeMar DeRozan and the Sacramento Kings. Two teams going up against each other. This is in Sacramento. This is going to be a great game as well, too. A lot of people are sleeping on this game, though. Dallas and Sacramento. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on this game. It's going to be good in what you expect, okay? It's going to be a very great game. I feel like all of these playing games are going to be very great, okay? They're not going to disappoint. But this one right here is going to be good. You got a Dallas Mavericks team led by Anthony Davis, who is taking over since coming back from injury. Kyrie Irving is out for the season. All right, and Anthony Davis has been big time for the Dallas Mavericks. And I believe when he's in the starting lineup, the Mavericks are like 6-2, I believe, with AD in the lineup. So Anthony Davis is a huge difference maker for the Dallas Mavericks. All right. For the Sacramento Kings, DeMar DeRozan has been hooping down the stretch. Zach LaVine has been balling with the Kings. Sabonis has been hooping, averaging a double-double every game. This is going to be a great one. And Sacramento is going to go down to the wire. Give me the Dallas Mavericks to beat the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento in a very tough, rough, close game. Anthony Davis is going to go off. I think he's going to drop at least 30 points. All right. And they'll win the game. I feel like Klay Thompson's going to have a great game. Klay Thompson, remember, let's not talk about, Klay Thompson last year when he played the Kings, he went over 10. Stop it. Okay, that's enough. Klay Thompson is going to have a revenge game against the Sacramento Kings. I think he's going to go off. Anthony Davis is definitely going to go off. I think he's going to drop at least 30, okay? If Anthony Davis drops at least 30, the Mavs are winning this game, all right? So give me the Dallas Mavericks over the Sacramento Kings to advance to the final playing game for the 8th seed. Mr. 401 also says he has the Sacramento Kings in a tough one. Yes, I do believe this is going to be a very tough game, though. I won't be surprised who wins and who loses, though. But both teams, they're going to go at it. All right. These two teams will be going at it with each other. All right. And then for the final play-in games, we got in the West, I got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And in the East, I got the Orlando Magic versus the Chicago Bulls. Now, one of these picks might surprise you now. All right. One of these picks might surprise you. Just wait. All right. In the East playing, we got the Orlando Magic versus the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls team trying to get over the hump. They've been in this situation before. They were in it for the past 2 years. One win, you're in the playoffs. Ever since they've been in that 9-10 game for the past 2 years. They won the first game, but always come short in that second game to get to the playoffs. Kobe White has to have a great game. Josh Giddey's going to have a great game. Orlando, they're looking to bounce back after that loss to the Atlanta Hawks. But who gets the job done? Drum roll. Give me the Chicago Bulls to beat the Orlando Magic for the 8th seed. They will advance to the playoffs and take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I do think the Chicago Bulls will get over that hump. They will be walking into this game with a chip on their shoulder. They'll get the job done, defeat Orlando, slow down Paolo Beccaro again, and advance to the playoffs. Orlando, this hasn't been a great season for them with injuries and stuff like that. So I do believe that Orlando can miss the playoffs, and I got them missing the playoffs because it's been a rough season for them. Now, Orlando might win that game, but I'm taking Chicago because I want to see them get over that hump and win. All right. Mavs draft Cooper Flag. Hey, I'd love to see Cooper Flag in Dallas, though. That'll be a good pickup. So in the East, my playoff bracket is set. I got the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Chicago Bulls, the Indiana Pacers taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, the New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons, and the Boston Celtics versus the Atlanta Hawks. Last playing game from the Western Conference, Memphis Grizzlies, Dallas Mavericks. Let's get into it. Great game. Anthony Davis will get over the hump. All right. Will he have a great game? Will he take this Dallas Mavericks team to the playoffs? Memphis is looking to bounce back after a loss to the Golden State Warriors. This is going to be a great one right here. This is for the 8th seed. I do believe this game will go into overtime. Man, I'm about to take who I have right now. Drum roll. The Dallas Mavericks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Give me the Dallas Mavericks to beat the Memphis Grizzlies for the 8th seed to the playoffs. Yes, Anthony Davis is going to drop 40 in that game. Okay, I think Anthony Davis, first game is going to drop 30 in the Mavs win, and Anthony Davis drops 40 in Memphis, getting the win. All right, I got the Dallas Mavericks making the playoffs, led by Anthony Davis. All right, so in the Western Conference first round, my bracket: OKC Thunder, Dallas Mavericks, Denver Nuggets, Los Angeles Clippers, Los Angeles Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves, Houston Rockets versus the Golden State Warriors. All right. Wow. Man, you didn't expect that, huh? I told y'all I had a surprise pick coming in. Y'all didn't. No, I bet you I didn't see that coming at all. But yeah, that's my hot take. The Dallas Mavericks will make the playoffs with Anthony Davis leading the way. All right. I think he's going to go crazy. He knows the mindset. He wants to get his team to the playoffs after trading away their franchise player, Luka Dončić. So, yeah, give me the Dallas Mavericks over the Memphis Grizzlies for that 8th seed. So, back again with my Western Conference predictions. I'm going to go over my full playoff predictions now from the West and the East. Shout out to my guy, Mr. 4-1, with the hot take. Yeah, I'll be coming in with these hot takes. In the Western Conference, 1 versus 8, OKC Thunder, Dallas Mavericks, Denver Nuggets, Los Angeles Clippers, 4 versus 5, 3 versus 6, Lakers Timberwolves, 2 and 7, Houston Rockets, Golden State Warriors. In the East, I got Cleveland and Chicago, Indiana, Milwaukee, New York, Detroit, Boston, and Atlanta. Now, I'm just here to predict the first round only. I'm only going to do the first round, all right? And give y'all a preview on what do I think about this game. Starting off in the Wild Wild West, you got the number 1 OKC Thunder versus the Dallas Mavericks. A rematch of the Western Conference semifinals from last season. You got a young Oklahoma City Thunder team against a Dallas Mavericks team led by Anthony Davis. Now, I do believe with Anthony Davis being healthy for the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs, I would love to see them put up a competitive series against this Oklahoma City Thunder team, but it will not be enough. I'm taking OKC to win in 5 games, maybe in 6, okay? 5 or 6 games. I do believe Anthony Davis is going to show up in the playoffs for the Dallas Mavericks, but it will not be enough, though. So give me the OKC Thunder over the Dallas Mavericks in 5 or 6 games. Next one, 4 versus 5. That was 1 versus 8, OKC and Dallas. 4 versus 5. You got the Denver Nuggets taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. This is going to be a good series right here. I am excited for this series, okay? I am very excited for this series, okay? You got Nikola Jokic versus Jamal Murray. Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray. And you got Kawhi Leonard versus, not Kawhi Leonard. Excuse me, sorry about that. You got Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray versus Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. Last time these two teams faced each other in the playoffs, 2020 in the bubble. Clippers blew a 3-1 lead against the Denver Nuggets. Doc Rivers was the head coach for the Clippers at that time. And they couldn't get the job done. Up 3-1, and then they blew it. So this is going to be a whole different series right here, okay? I'm excited to see what this Clippers team is going to do, all right? They have impressed me a lot during this final stretch of the regular season. Kawhi Leonard has been healthy. He's been playing at a high level. James Harden, we got to give him some credit. Norman Powell has been hooping. And they got a good bench as well, too. The Denver Nuggets, they fired their head coach. This will be the first time I'll be seeing the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs without head coach Mike Malone. Why would y'all fire y'all head coach in this playoff? Y'all can wait till after the season's over. But we're going to get into that later on in the show. But overall, though, I do believe this series will go to 7 games. And I got the Denver Nuggets winning the 7. I feel like they're the better team than the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay? I do feel like the Nuggets are better than the Clippers. You got Nikola Jokic. All right? I'm telling you, one reason why I got the Denver Nuggets winning the series, they got Nikola Jokic. Okay? This man is about to drop a triple-double every game. All right? Give me the Nuggets in 7. So in the second round, I got OKC and Denver. 3 versus 6, Los Angeles Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves in the 3 and 6 matchup. Man, this is going to be a great one right here. LeBron James versus Anthony Edwards and Luka Dončić versus the Timberwolves. Luka versus Ant-Man. Remember, Luka Dončić played against the Minnesota Timberwolves last year in the playoffs in the Western Conference Finals, sent them home in 5 games. So Minnesota's going to be looking for revenge on Luka Dončić, all right? And Anthony Edwards is definitely looking for revenge on Luka Dončić as well, too. So I'm excited for this matchup. This is going to be an intense series. The Lakers, new team. Minnesota's a different team. Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, in order for y'all to win the series, you got to play like a superstar, okay? Rudy Gobert has to have a great game, all right? Jaden McDaniels has to have a great game. Julius Randle must have a good series. If Minnesota has a good series, this could probably go to 7, okay? All right, I do feel like this series can go to 7. But who knows though? It might go to 5 or 6. But otherwise, though, I do love this series. I got the Los Angeles Lakers beating the Minnesota Timberwolves in 6 games. Yes, I'm gonna take the Lakers in 6 games against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think Minnesota gonna put up a dog fight. But here's the thing, though. It's crazy how we got this matchup, though. It's crazy because I didn't want this matchup, though. The reason why it was hard for me to pick who I have winning the series, number one, I got the Lakers coming out the West. And two, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves as my dark horse, my sleeper team in the Western Conference. So, hey, if the Timberwolves win, even though I got the Lakers, I would not be surprised at all. All right. That's all I got to say. All right. I do feel like it'll be a competitive series. All right. Ant-Man's going to show up. Luka's going to show up. I'm excited for this series, okay? I got the Lakers in 6. Next up, we got the Houston Rockets taking on the Golden State Warriors. Young Houston Rockets team that's inexperienced against a Golden State Warriors team that's full of veterans. All right. So the Warriors are the most experienced team, but I do feel like the Houston Rockets are going to put up a fight in this series. All right. You got 2 guys on the team with the most playoff experience, and Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks. All right. It's going to be a competitive series. I will not be shocked if Houston wins. Okay. Just know right now, if the Houston Rockets win, I will not be surprised. Okay. I do love what they've been doing. Ime Udoka has been doing a great job. This is a young team. Jalen Green, Alfred Shagu, Amon Thompson, that kid is special. These young bloods in Houston can ball. Okay. These young bloods can ball. All right. And do not be surprised if they win this series. But otherwise, though, Steph versus the Rockets, the Warriors want Rockets. Okay. It's just simple as that. I got the Golden State Warriors winning this series in 6 games. Probably could go to 7, though, because I feel like Houston could put up a fight with these young bloods. All right, they're inexperienced, but if Houston can find a way to beat Golden State, I'll love for that. And the Houston Rockets got a championship coach and Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka, I like to point this out to you real quick. Ime Udoka has played the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals before, so he knows how this team plays. All right, so he's gonna have a great game plan for this series. But otherwise, though, I got the Warriors in 6. So in the second round, I got Lakers, Warriors, Thunder, and Nuggets. Then we go over to the east side. 1 versus 8. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Chicago Bulls. Really, no explanation to this. I'm going to take Cleveland at 5. I do feel like Chicago's going to get 1 game on their home court in Chicago. I do want to see Chicago win a home playoff game. It's going to be nice in that arena. Give me Cleveland at 5. And that's all I got to say. So I got Cleveland moving on to the second round. You got a rematch in the 4 or 5 matchup between the Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks. Boy, I am excited for this rematch right here. Okay, I am excited for this rematch. Okay, hopefully Dame and Giannis are healthy. Indiana has been playing phenomenal basketball down the stretch. Tyrese Halliburton has been balling. Miles Turner has been hooping. Pascal Siakam has been hooping. Indiana has a great bench. Okay, Indiana has a great bench. Milwaukee has a great bench. Kevin Porter Jr. was an underrated pickup by the Milwaukee Bucks and Kyle Kuzma. Okay, this is a whole different Milwaukee Bucks team. All right, and who I got winning this series? This series will go to 7. Both teams are healthy. I got this series going to 7. And drum roll, please. Just ignore my dog in the background. Drum roll again. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games. Yes, I got the Milwaukee Bucks upsetting the Indiana Pacers in 7 games. All right. So, with that being said, the reason why I got the Bucks winning this series, I think they're going to get revenge. All right. They've been in this situation before. They played this team last year in the playoffs. So I do believe they're going to get the job done and get revenge. But what I love for revenge for the Milwaukee Bucks to beat the Indiana Pacers is if they sweep them. That would be hilarious. But it's highly unlikely. But this series will go to 7. Give me Milwaukee. And they are my dark horse, my sleeper team in the Eastern Conference. With Giannis healthy, they can make a run. All right, so watch out for Milwaukee. Next up, you got the New York Knicks. Just ignore my dog in the background. All right, you got the New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. 3 versus 6. Man, this right here is going to be a bloodbath, okay? You got a New York Knicks team who has been slumping all second half of the season, and you got a young, upcoming Detroit Pistons team led by Cade Cunningham. When I tell you this is going to be one of the best series in the first round Eastern Conference playoffs, best first round series in the Eastern Conference playoffs right here, okay? As y'all know, I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan. I do not like the Knicks, okay? I do not like the Knicks. I do not like their fans. But the team-wise, I like Brunson. I like Cat, but I just don't like the Knicks, okay? All right, I don't like the Knicks, all right, because they don't like Trae Young. So that's why I do not like the Knicks. But otherwise, though, I do feel like it's going to be a competitive series. This could go to 7, okay? This could go to 7 right here. Detroit is going to put up a fight. They're going to find a way to be competitive in this series. Detroit has been playing phenomenal basketball down the stretch. I really wanted them to play Indiana in the first round, but hey, I'll take Detroit versus New York, though. And both of these teams have rowdy fan bases, too. So I love this matchup right here. I got the Detroit Pistons upsetting the New York Knicks in 6 games. Give me the Pistons in 6. Detroit over New York in 6 games. Last but not least, second 2 versus 7. Boston Celtics, Atlanta Hawks. Now, I'm not going to be biased or delusional here. I do feel like we're going to put up a competitive series against the Boston Celtics. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The Boston Celtics NBA champions. Okay, they are the defending NBA champions. All right, and if we had Jalen Johnson, we probably would have upset Boston. I'm telling you right now, if Jalen Johnson was healthy, we could probably upset Boston. Okay, but I'm not going to be biased or delusional right like that. I do feel like we're going to put up a competitive series. Last time we played this team in the first round, 2 years ago. Sorry about that, guys. Last time we played this team, we almost took this team to 7 games. Okay, we almost took them to 7 games. So don't be surprised if we upset Boston in the first round. Boston, they're trying to go for that repeat. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown's on a mission. Jaylen Brown's supposed to be back, so Boston's going to be very good. But otherwise, though, I got Boston winning the 6. Okay, so in the second round of the playoffs, give me Boston versus Detroit and Milwaukee versus Cleveland. All right, and that's it for my NBA playoff / play-in preview. Now we move on to Luka Dončić return to Dallas. The Lakers defeated the Mavericks in Dallas last Wednesday. Luka's return to Dallas. Man, it was an emotional game for Luka Dončić as he returned to Dallas. One thing I love from this game, the Lakers were efficient. They were good offensively, good defensively. It was a good game overall. Playoff atmosphere in Dallas. I'm glad Luka went off. He dropped 45 points in his return to Dallas. Man, Luka went off. I had a feeling Luka was going to go off for this game. I really wanted Luka to drop 50, but I'll take 45. All right, I'll take 45. Lakers got the win 112-97. Luka Dončić, 45 points. He had 6 assists and 8 rebounds. Austin Reeves, 11 points. Jackson Hayes, 3 points. LeBron James, 27. Rui Hachimura, 15. So, Lakers, offensively, great. Defense was great, too. The Mavs, AD, 13. PJ Washington, 14. Najee Marshall, 23. And Darren Lively, 7. Klay Thompson, 6. Caleb Martin, 9. Dale Gafford with 10. Spencer Dinwiddie, 5. And Max Christine with 11. AD versus his former team. This was so excited about this game. You got Luka versus his former team. AD versus his former team. So this made the game a lot of fun. Yeah, that made the game a lot of fun. All right. So I enjoyed this game watching it. The Lakers with that win clinched the playoff berth. But otherwise, though, Luka, I'm glad he got it all out. When he saw that tribute video, that boy was crying. And I love how the Dallas Mavericks fans cheered for him when he scored his first bucket back in Dallas. That was everything. That was everything. All right. But that's all I got to say about that game. Lakers win 112-97. Then we go to this Clippers and Warriors game, which determined the whole Western Conference seedings, okay? Clippers win 124-119 against the Golden State Warriors, clinched the playoff berth. The Warriors will be in the play-in tournament against the Memphis Grizzlies. Man, Kawhi Leonard. This boy went off. Kawhi Leonard had 33 points. This man played like 2019 Kawhi Leonard out there. I'm telling you, even though I'm not high on the Clippers, but if Kawhi Leonard plays like this in the playoffs and if he stay healthy, the Clippers can make a run. All right? Clippers can make a run. Kawhi Leonard had 33. Zubox, I think it's Isaac Zubox. Well, I don't know his name, but Zubox had 22. James Harden had 39, looking like Houston James Harden out there. Kawhi Leonard and James Harden looked like they were in their primes out there against the Golden State Warriors. Norman Powell, 11 points. Chris Dunn, 11 points. Derrick Jones Jr., 3 points. Bogey, 5 points. And that's about it. Golden State, they had a great game. Steph Curry carried the team for Golden State. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler combined for 66 points. Steph had 36. Butler had 30 points. Draymond had 14. Brendan Boziski, that's his last name, but that dude is special. All right, and he bought out as well, too. Clippers won in overtime. I love what I seen for this game. This felt like the game 7, okay? The Clippers defense was sensational. Kawhi Leonard, amazing. James Harden was amazing. If Kawhi Leonard and James Harden play like this in the playoffs, and if they stay healthy, I think the Clippers can make a run. All right? I do feel like the Clippers can make a run in the playoffs, but do I think it's going to happen? No. All right? But do I think they can make a run? Yes. Because this Clippers team is special to watch. They have been phenomenal down the stretch. I'd love to see what they do against the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs in the first round. Oh, excuse me right there. I'd love to see what they do against the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs. But otherwise, though, Golden State, this was a must-win game. See, if the Warriors would have won, they will be in the playoffs playing against the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Timberwolves would have been playing the Nuggets. That's the first round match I wanted to see. I just really want to see Denver versus Minnesota after we seen that huge double overtime winning game of the year in Denver 2 weeks ago. And I'll recap that game in just a moment. That'll be the last thing I'll recap as well. But otherwise, though, Golden State, you fumble the bag. You will be in the play-in playing against the Memphis Grizzlies. Y'all are 0-3. Y'all got to get the job done, which I do believe y'all get the job done, but y'all got to beat Memphis, okay? And that's it, though. This was a phenomenal game, back and forth going on. This has been a great game since the first quarter, okay? Two teams going back and forth, playoff seeding on the line. Clippers got the job done, 124-119. And last but not least, I would like to talk about Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets game of the year right here. Wolves win in double overtime, 140-139 in Denver. I had this as my playoff preview. I wish I would have got this matchup in the playoffs. But if we can somehow get this matchup in the conference finals, I'm here for it, baby. I'm here for it. All right. So let's talk about it. First of all, Nikola Jokic, 61-point triple-double. Okay, Nikola Jokic had a 61-point triple-double. That dude is special. Okay, it's crazy how the Nuggets lost on Nikola Jokic, 61-point triple-double night. All right, it was at the end of the game. Westbrook got the steal. He missed the layup. Nickeil Alexander-Walker brings it up the court. Nickeil for the win. So he got the ball passed by Anthony Edwards. Nickeil was in the corner. He goes up for the shot. He was fouled on the three-point attempt by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook lost him that game. Okay, Westbrook lost him the game. It's that simple. But let's go over these stats. Julius Randle had a great game, 26 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. Jaden McDaniels had 12 points. Rudy Gobert had 19 points. Mike Conley, 9 points. Anthony Edwards had 34. That dude went off. Anthony Edwards loves playing against the Denver Nuggets. Okay, he loves playing against Denver because that's when he shows out. But otherwise, though, I wish this was the matchup in the playoffs. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker, player of the game, 26 points. He was balling that night against the Denver Nuggets. Now let's look at the Nugget stats. Nikola Jokic, 61 points. Peyton Watson had 7. Aaron Gordon had 30. Christian Braun had 18. Westbrook had 12. All right. But Westbrook, you are a veteran player. You cannot sell the game like that. You should have known better. You missed the layup. This is the thing, though, for NBA players and all basketball players out there. When you're trying to defend a three-point shot or any shot, contest. Just put your hands up. That's all you got to do. All right. But instead, Westbrook jumps up, bumps into the man, fouls him. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, they were down 1 at that time. He hits both free throws, missed 1. It was 0.1 left on the clock, and the Wolves win. But I do love this game, though. This was a playoff preview, playoff atmosphere, Denver game of the year. I was here for it. Timberwolves win 140 to 139. And last but not least, I like to talk about before I head out, the Denver Nuggets have fired their head coach, Michael Malone, before the playoffs. Why? Now explain. I don't know why the Denver Nuggets fired this. Michael Malone is a great head coach for the Denver Nuggets, and you fired this man a week before the playoffs? Like, that wasn't a great move, okay? I feel bad for him because this dude brought them a championship. Him and Jokic brought them a championship to Denver. But otherwise, though, Denver is still a great team, though. Ever since he's been fired, the Nuggets has been balling, though. All right? So I feel like he should still be the coach of this team till this day. But, hey, it's business, though. The Nuggets feel like, all right, we have been slumping lately. We got to go ahead and fire you because we're trying to make a deep run in the playoffs. But otherwise, though, it's a business decision, okay? A lot of these teams don't do it because they don't make dumb decisions. They do it what's best for their team, okay, and giving them a chance to win. But otherwise, though, I do not like this firing. All right, he is a phenomenal head coach. And he is a Hall of Fame head coach as well, too. But when I heard about this news, I was shocked. I was in disbelief because I did not see this coming. All right. But otherwise, though, Denver will try to make a deep run in the playoffs without their head coach, Michael Malone. But otherwise, though, I was shocked. He shouldn't have been fired. He could have waited. They could have waited until after the playoffs. Okay? It's that simple. But otherwise, though, that's it for today's episode of the Report, episode 30 of the Report. Thank y'all for everybody that joined. I appreciate all the love and support. And I forgot to mention this in the beginning of my video. In my episode, excuse me, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the episode. Make sure y'all follow me on all of my social media platforms at _NAR_report on Instagram and TikTok too. You can find that in my bio as well too. And that's it. I am ready for these playoffs. Let's get ready for this playing tournament tomorrow. Let's see who's in the playoffs. And for the playoffs, starting next week, I'm gonna go live. Okay, I'm gonna go live twice a week for the playoffs. And tomorrow, I'm thinking about hosting a Hawks versus Magic play-in watch party here on YouTube. All right, so I'm gonna post all of that on Instagram and TikTok. If y'all want to join, y'all most welcome to. And that's it. Have a good rest of your day. Nard out. I love y'all. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at _NAR_report and TikTok. And make sure y'all sub to the YouTube. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube. Click that bell to make sure y'all get all the notifications on when I go live. Have a good rest of your day. Nard out.